Hello, my name is Doho and this is my second video and written discussion on the Cheater's Guide to Love, which is a short story by Junot Diaz. The story was pretty interesting. It's about this guy named Junot as he goes through 5 years of his adulthood, and in the beginning of the story he gets caught by his fiance that he was cheating on her with like different women, and then he goes through a breakup. So I think that's part of the conflict, and which is immediate and rest because it starts right away in the story. And I think the second conflict is also him trying to win his old fiance back by going through the 5 stages of grief, and then later realizing that it wasn't the woman's problem, it was actually his problem, that he couldn't win his old fiance back because he was the one that was cheating on her. So because of this, one may think the conflict of the story is technically person versus person, but however, I think you can also see in this story in a way that the conflict is person versus self, as Yuner goes through depression because he really wants to get back together with his old fiance or find someone that can replace her. So basically like finding another girlfriend. And I think the overall plot of this story might be considered a tragedy because, Yuner can be perceived as a hero who eventually solves his problem, but the problem or the conflict is not resolved in a very happy way. He goes through a lot of depression and emotional turmoil because of the breakup, and including the 5 stages of grief. So in the first stage of grief, which is denial, he thinks that he can win his fiance back again, and then in the second stage of the second stage, which is anger, he rants and tells himself that it was her loss to break up with him, like a man like him, and that he is totally fine. And then he moves on to the third stage, which is bargaining, and he then tries to find another girlfriend, which was a nurse, and that he thinks he can replace his old fiance's empty space or with the new girlfriend. And then the fourth stage, he goes into a depression, and finally last stage, he falls into acceptance, and then he realizes that he was the problem and the women were not the problem. So in this story, as Yuner goes through these 5 stages of grief and finally reflects upon his life, I think he is the narrator. And some major themes that this story has, I think, is basically self-assessment, or reflecting, looking back at your own mistakes and really correcting them, and facing problems and situation happening around one, viewing it logically and looking at it from a bird's eye view. And moreover, I think another additional theme that we can add to this short story shows is like a fresh start or new beginning in life, as after Yuner reflects on his mistakes and whatever he did wrong, he was able to realize the problem and start a new fresh life.